Hi, I'm Andrew Berry and welcome to At The Bench and welcome to another product review. Well, I've recently just been sent this by the boys up in Sutton Tools up in Birmingham, and it's a product called firescoff. I've heard about this particular product. It's been available in the US for some time and I thought I'd give it a go. In the past we've used methylated spirits with boracic acid and borax mixed up in it. You've seen me use that many a time on the At The Bench films. I've also recently reviewed another product called Magic Boric, which is another really good product for preventing fire scale, fire stain, and for using it as a flux. But this is something that is in a really handy pump action dispenser, which is something that the Magic Boric actually doesn't have. You have to dip the item into that. Now, whilst there's nothing wrong with that at all, this to me looks quite a good, quick, funky idea. It's basically a clear liquid, and you've got a nice top, almost like something you get in the chemist. It's a clear solution. Again, it's a water-based, so there's no flaring up like you have with the methylated spirits. And the idea is it protects the surface. It protects the surface against fire scale, fire stain. It protects the surface patina as well. And it does that by causing a complete shield, a complete barrier between the flame and the product and the item that you're soldering. It also acts as a flux. So again, you don't need to add any flux. So in theory, you can do away with your borax cone and your all flux and whatever type of flux that you use, because this is basically an all-in-one product. You have to apply it slightly differently. The idea is, I got a ring just by here now that we're going to have a quick play with. I've cut through the joint. I'm going to get my piece of solder. Now I haven't fluxed it, but I've made sure that the surfaces are nice and clean. So we're just going to give it a quick go. And this is a very simple ring that I was making up just for a bit of fun for a student who was in not so long ago. So what we're going to do, I'll show you quickly what we're going to do. We are going to heat up the piece ever so gently, and if you want to put a little drop of water onto the item, heat it up until that water evaporates. So the water evaporates around 100 degrees centigrade. So then once the water has evaporated, what you do then is to squirt and spray this firescoff onto the surface that you're soldering or that you want to protect, in the ring in this instance. And then you keep on heating. Now the idea is that if you can still see, once you've heated the piece and that white coating has appeared upon the piece, if you can see a reflection in the metal, it means that that particular piece of metal in that area is not protected. So put another spray of this solution onto the surface until you cannot see any reflections on the surface, which means that surface then is completely protected. Once you've done that, you can ensure that there'll be no fire scale or fire stain upon the piece, and also the surface will be protected against. You may have a nice patina on it, especially if you're using rose gold. You know what it's like when you're heating up. You do get a bit of a scale upon the surface because of the copper and the oxygen in the torch has a bit of reaction. This will do away with that completely, so there'll be no staining upon the surface at all. What you're left with will be the exact color of the metal. Then what you do then is to simply put it into some water, and that water then will get rid of the coating completely. So there's no need to put it in acid either. So that's another benefit of using firescoff. So let's quickly have a quick go. I haven't used it yet. I've just been telling you what they've told me. So let's just see how we work up on the piece. So I got my piece by here now. What we're going to do, I've just cut through it, as I said, and made sure the joint is nice and close, tight fitting. I haven't put any flux on it yet. So I'm going to cut some pieces of solder first, and I'll cut a couple of pieces just to put them on the side, just by there, like that. I'm just going to get a little drop of water on my finger to drop onto the edge of the ring like that. Heat it up, and as soon as I see that water evaporate like that, I'm going to get my firescoff. I'm going to put a couple of sprays on the surface like that and heat it up. Now on this side, on my side here, I got a little bit of the reflection showing on the silver there. So what I'm going to do is simply put another spray on the front of that like that. Now I can be sure that that surface, and you can see how the white powder has appeared upon the piece itself, which means the surface is nicely protected. Remember, I have not added any flux to this now. Simply put my bit of solder on the edge, warm it up. There we go. Flows through perfectly. That should flow through all the way. Fabulous. Good job. Pop that into the water now. Oh gosh. There we go, straight into the water. And it's kept the shine upon the piece. Obviously not within this area here, this is where we've just soldered, but it's still nice and shiny. Even the inside here, you can see there's a bit of water on there. There we go, you can see the inside is still shiny as it was before when we soldered. And that was just simply dipped in the water. Now how quick and easy was that? You don't have to go put in your water in your borax cone, mixing that up with your paintbrush, dabbing it onto the piece, and then going back to your borax cone. You find the borax cone has sucked up all that water from the dish, and you've got to keep adding it to get a nice consistency. Everything is held within this one little bottle here. A couple of sprays and you can see the piece is still lovely and shiny as it was before we started soldering. Lovely solder joint as well upon that. Flowed all the way through. First impressions, very good. I love it. In fact, I don't think the boys will be having this back at Sutton's. I think I'll be keeping this for myself for Christmas. Thanks, boys. So, firescoff, fire scale preventer, flux and a heat shield. And that's very good, a heat shield. It does protect the piece from the direct heat of the flame. Yeah, exactly as I said. What you have to do is put a little bit of water up onto the piece, make sure that water evaporates at the right temperature, so when you spray this solution, the firescoff, onto the surface, the water evaporates straight away, and what you're left with is that nice white powder coating that does protect the piece, as I've just showed you, and it provides the flux for the joint as well. So, firescoff, it's mine. I'm not giving it back. That's firescoff. I'm Andrew Berry for The Bench. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Bye bye.